In tonight's Fact or Fiction, we are looking into yet another claim about The Simpsons predicting a big news event. The story this time is that the iconic TV show eerily predicted the outbreak of the coronavirus.
Have you ever thought that cartoons could predict the future? Well, the fans of The Simpsons have reason to think so. Through the years, this favorite animation series has surprisingly predicted events from election outcomes to recent technological advancements. Now, in 2025, this show has again taken attention over predictions on possible US and China conflicts, among other possible events to occur next year. Will these predictions prove accurate once more? Join us as we reveal The Simpsons' amazing 2025 prophecies that will blow your mind. A potential conflict between the United States and China. I remember a scene from The Simpsons that was a few years back, in which there was a part where humor was used to describe a global war. This scene of the episode revealed a critical world war that was highly affecting two countries. At first, it went on smoothly before it escalated to chaos as the episode unfolded and left the town of Springfield devastated. Homer, ever the hypersensitive of his family, was seen rallying his family to prepare for an all-out attack on Springfield. In the background, the stars and stripes waved ominously as fighter jets appeared, firing missiles at the troops stationed mere yards from Homer's home. These soldiers were fully armed and ready for battle, and another flag could be seen on the plane. The emblems looked remarkably similar to a powerful militarized nation, China. While some fans say the emblem looks nothing like China's national symbol, others believe The Simpsons have done it again in predicting a possible future event. But that's not all. For a long period now, the animated sitcom The Simpsons has attained a legendary reputation for its apparent tendency to predict future occurrences. From Donald Trump's presidency to the Disney-Fox merger.
And it seems The Simpsons just can't wait for next season to deal with Donald Trump.
The show's peculiar capability of capturing real-world events has made it a staple in pop cultural history. It has also predicted many incidents that later happened, and that is why many fans believe the war scene of that episode may be real. The show had predicted the conflict between Russia and Ukraine a few years ago, which actually happened. This strange accuracy encourages us to speculate on what the next year may have in store for the world, in case the United States and China enter into war. The Simpsons drawing attention to a conflict arising between the two countries in the coming year creates an interesting scenario. Not long after, there were concerns about a paranoid military commander, and a similar concern related to the show predicting a war between the United States and China. It looks like this is coming into play, and may escalate in this upcoming year. A four-star general in the Air Force recently sent a memo to the officers under his command, predicting that the United States would be at war with China within the coming year, and ordered them to get ready by firing a bullet at a target and hitting the bullseye. The memo, which was obtained by NBC News, was written by General Mike Minahan, who leads Air Mobility Command. He voiced this concern based on a gut feeling that the two nations would have a clash by 2025. He also stated that his preparations included building a battle-hardened, ready, capable, and agile joint force maneuver team, and creating combat-ready capability and preparedness for winning battles inside the first island chain. The signed memorandum was addressed to all Air Wing and Air Force operational commanders, who were to report all significant efforts to prepare for the China conflict to Minahan. However, that is just the tip of the iceberg. Minahan stated in the memorandum that because both Taiwan and the United States had presidential elections this year, the United States would be preoccupied, and Chinese President Xi Jinping would have an opportunity to make a move on Taiwan. Keeping that in mind, he instructed all AMC personnel to fire a round into a 7M target, with the full understanding that focus and intent are paramount. The order was clear and concise. Under whatever circumstances, aim at the center mass and shoot without hesitation. The general also issued an order that all personnel should update their records as well as their emergency contact lists, just in case. In addition to these instructions, Minahan directed all AMC personnel to reflect on their personal matters and whether an appointment should be made at their servicing base legal office to ensure that they are legally ready and prepared for whatever may occur. Everything was being put in place so rapidly. It is evident that Minahan intends for his team to be prepared to go into 2025 and ready for whatever challenges the year may bring. In an interview, retired US Lieutenant Colonel Daniel L. Davis told Time that what Minahan had said were words one would say if he were preparing for a fight. All that Davis knows is that it is either Minahan knows something nobody else does, or he's trying to get everybody excited. What Davis does know for a fact, however, is that Minahan's sudden about-face is pretty remarkable and ought to be taken very seriously. If war was truly awaiting the United States in 2025, Davis begs the military to act as Minahan proposes to quickly get out of the crisis, or at worst, to have the better of the war to the profit of the United States. Meanwhile, a military buildup is accelerating on both sides as the United States retains significant advantages in aircraft carriers, nuclear-powered submarines, and larger vessels. China's navy already has the world's largest raw numbers, while China is expected to increase its naval capabilities by almost 40% between 2020 and 2040, according to the US Navy estimates. Though Minahan may have been triggered by the current global political instability, it seems that the United States and China are both preparing for something big. However, the acquiring of advanced weapons is not a sign of potential war. While The Simpsons hinted at a possible fight between both countries, it may simply imply that war is in sight and that both countries are preparing to meet it. However, it goes down, so let's pray it does not come true very soon. General Minahan is an intuition, which has also happened to be just a feeling so far, and nothing has come true from it. But is it all that The Simpsons had for 2025? Let's try some deep investigation to unravel all this mystery of prediction, technological advancement and takeover in 2025. With 2025 just around the corner, speculation runs amok again as to what that future may hold. Groundbreaking scientific discoveries or unforeseen chaos. Whatever the case may be, one thing is certain. The predictions that The Simpsons has made for 2025 are nothing short of phenomenal and have set fans abuzz with excitement and curiosity. One of the most exciting predictions for the coming year is technological advancement, especially regarding virtual reality. The concept of virtual dining does sound like something out of a science fiction novel, and if this prophecy does come true, it will completely revolutionize the dynamics of our world. Just imagine being able to dine on exotic culinary delights from distant planets without ever leaving your living room. The real question now is, well, this is where it becomes interesting. In one of The Simpsons episodes, the two lead characters, Homer and Marge, have their dinner through a feeding tube and are wearing VR headsets. Homer had invited Marge to have dinner with him at a posh restaurant, but upon reaching the restaurant, they were told that there was no food there. Disappointed, Homer didn't waste any time in showing his disapproval of the use of technology to utter that the virtual fudge tasted awful. Marge wasn't too keen on her virtual cocktail, which she had to drink through the feeding tube. They both swore at the end never to set foot in such a freaky restaurant again. The episode not only shows the potential use of virtual reality in our daily lives, but also sends a warning about the dangers of overdependence on technology. If we start using VR in our daily lives, as is done by the characters in this cartoon, do you think it will change our lifestyles? So far, while the use of artificial intelligence in the world today has greatly aided communication and learning, it has also caused relationships to dwindle. Maybe we will see a rise in virtual friendships and romantic connections in the future. Another case that The Simpsons brought to our attention regarding the growth in technology and technology possibly taking over in 2025 centers around teaching AI robots. A few years back, nobody would have thought that humans would be giving instructions to AI robots. Now look at everything. By the way, it is one of 4 tellings made on the popular American TV show of the 90s, The Simpsons, and it might come true in 2025, so keep a close watch on it. In fact, we're already seeing it in real life with AI robots learning to do all sorts of things by themselves. In one of the episodes, Homer and other teachers are asked to teach AI robots. After that, they become capable enough to apply for student loans and get into Ivy League schools in America. Well, scientists are actually teaching AI to do different jobs, as we can see from Elon Musk's latest endeavors. However, teaching robots to gain independence from their creators, thereby changing their programming, sounds like a threat to students. So, Homer didn't seem too thrilled with the whole thing, nor did some of the other citizens of Springfield, but they had to do it anyway as the episode went on. We could hear Homer complain and voice his fears of the robots acquiring more knowledge than was required of them.
Now let me raise this beer to toast. What the?
Alcohol is harmful to humans.
Yeah. Save your breath.
We have no breath.
Which might lead to them wanting to surpass their human creators, humans. Although in the end, the episode didn't go that direction. It might just be the show's way of warning us about the dangers of teaching AI robots to become more human-like. It doesn't end there. We only started hearing about artificial intelligence 4 years ago, but The Simpsons knew about it long before that. Throughout the show, there are multiple references to AI and its impact on the job industry. Let's take a look at one of them. Notable episodes include the Treehouse of Horror series, with the segment The Devil and Homer Simpson. The effects automation and technology are having on employment have some comedic touch. A lead character named Homer Simpson is fired for showing positive alcohol results at his workstation. In this scenario, it was due to Homer's sacking that an uproar on AI and automation took place. Well, we have all seen many AI software that are overtaking the market, but will this change the status of our jobs in 2025? Only time will tell. Probably we might also have more remote jobs, since all the minor tasks would be taken over by AI and leave the humans to do something more creative and strategic. The world will be a chaotic place to live in for sure if that happens. And considering how impressive the successful prediction record of The Simpsons has been, it just might happen this time around. Once again, The Simpsons seem to be miles in advance with their version of how hologram technology will conquer by 2025. Bart to the Future is the episode where Bart Simpson receives a hologram note that invites his band to a club.
Hey Dingus, your band can play at my club tonight. Yes!
It describes just how common holograms became to send messages and in every other form of entertainment. But the big question is, how could The Simpsons come up with using holograms? Bart to the Future was way back in 2000, long before Elon Musk and his technological expenditures were all over the headlines. How could they possibly know it would be that advanced over the years? Will hologram technology take the place of our mobile phones, just like The Simpsons predicted back in 2000? There is no doubt that we can't be certain about what a cartoon show says concerning real-life events, but with 2025 close by, we will just have to wait and see. As we stand at the threshold of this new decade, it's clear that technology will continue to shape our lives in wondrous and worrisome ways. The line between science fiction and reality is blurring faster than ever before. Will we open our arms to these advancements or cling fearfully to our analog past? One thing is certain, the future is coming, and it's going to be a wild ride. Buckle up, folks, because 2025 is shaping up to be a year unlike any other in history. Colonization of Mars. One of the most awaited predictions by many enthusiasts is the one where The Simpsons predicted human colonization on Mars.
We're preparing to launch the first privately funded manned mission to Mars.
This involves particularly an episode in Season 27, Episode 16, where Lisa takes an interest in signing up for the Mars One mission. Her family was in dismay over her decision and tried to dissuade her from this very ambitious goal.
The mission leaves in 10 years. I'll be 18 and I'm going to Mars.
In a surprising turn of events, Marge ultimately decides to join Lisa, leaving them as the only participants in the program. Things take an interesting turn when the story fast-forwards 35 years into the future, and Marge and Lisa are seen to have successfully settled on the Martian surface, a feat considered well beyond human reach due to the many obstacles that come with interplanetary travel and living. However, with Elon Musk leading the charge in space exploration, this very episode of The Simpsons has started to become a reality at a rather alarming rate. In the last 10 years, Elon Musk has been working on a colonization project for Mars entitled SpaceX. This he introduced during the International Astronautical Congress in 2016. For a long period, it looked vague. However, Elon Musk has come up with some strategies to eradicate ambiguity. He intends to debunk the misconception by sending several cargo missions down to the planet. While the mission has not been accomplished yet, the company has made significant steps in preparing for these cargo missions to Mars. In the first quarter of the year, SpaceX is expected to reach a major milestone in its quest to establish a human presence on Mars. While this would be a monumental leap in human history, this accomplishment is only one thread in the larger tapestry of Elon Musk's visions for space travel. The ultimate objective is to send humans to Mars, not just to visit and return, but to stay and create a permanent colony on the planet. If it sounds ambitious, it could just be a reality as early as 2025, according to Elon Musk himself, who spoke at the Start Me Up HK Festival in Hong Kong. Musk reiterated that the mission is so important, and it represents, since you back up your hard drive, we should back up life too. His words have highlighted just how important it is to make our existence more expansive than Earth's, especially for survival in the long run if some disastrous occurrence happens to our planet. This underscores the critical undertakings that humans do towards space exploration and habitation. At the festival, he seemed to insinuate during a forum discussion that the company could send humans to Mars as early as 2025, while many people doubt its technical and financial capability for the same. The mission, it seems, has already begun with fresh investments in creating revenues that would support its ambitious projects. As we continue to watch the progress of SpaceX's Mars colonization efforts, it becomes ever clearer that the vision the Simpsons had for a future where humans live on the Red Planet was not just a fictional scenario, but a possible reality soon to become our shared destiny. But if and when we see a human setting foot on Mars, it would be advisable to remember that this is a dream that seemed fanciful in a show named The Simpsons, and whose writer's prescient imagination encourages and guides us toward a future among the stars. But while Mars colonization might feel like a step into the unknown, another dream from The Simpsons is quickly becoming a reality: flying cars. Could we soon see the skies filled with personal vehicles, just like the futuristic world the show once imagined? Let's explore how close we really are to making flying cars a part of everyday life. Flying cars. The prospect of flying vehicles is getting more and more realistic, with the potential for flying cars to hit the market as early as 2025. This notion, once deemed absurd, is now gaining traction among automotive enthusiasts and tech-savvy individuals alike. Many renditions of vertical takeoff and landing (VTOL) vehicles were based on concept versions that were shown in almost any form of media, and certainly could be found in the hit series The Simpsons, namely in the 1992 episode Itchy and Scratchy Land. His flying car dream finally took wing in a manner as humorous as it was an exaggeration. The TV show showed insightfully how such technology may occur in everyday human life, raising interesting ideas about the future of people's means of movement. Now, with Switchblade aircraft leading the way, the same thing may be said about personal mobility in our present world. Samson Sky pioneers this innovation, the Switchblade aircraft.
We're standing here with the Switchblade at AirVenture 2019, and I'd like to go ahead and show you what this Switchblade is all about.
The innovators have worked incessantly since 2008, developing an innovative flying machine with which the capabilities of a car merge with the capabilities of an aircraft in order to totally redefine the concept of personal transportation. Its design is no less than astonishing. This three-wheeled hybrid marvel can go from road vehicle to flying in under 3 minutes. This impressive piece of machinery has a whopping set of specs: 1,211 miles per hour on the ground and 159 miles per hour cruising through the skies. Its compact nature could fit in any small airfield or garage, thus making it considerably accessible to a wide segment of potential owners. With excitement building around this ground-shaking technology, pre-orders have already surpassed 1,600 worldwide. By the time these vehicles hit the market, if industry experts are to be believed, they would be so common that one would find it as normal as spotting a helicopter hovering over a city skyline during your drive to work. Some might be fascinated by this, like something right out of science fiction. The proponents argue that this could bring substantial relief to the already traffic-congested metropolis and give a complete feeling of freedom in personal movement. But with great power comes great responsibility, and this will surely raise questions of safety, noise pollution, and air regulation as these vehicles increase on the roads. Financial planners say those who want to be among the first owners of this advanced technology should budget around $200,000 per unit. That is a steep price, but just think of the future benefits of owning a vehicle that combines the conveniences of a car with the thrill of flight.
Why'd you buy the first hover car ever made? Didn't you know it'd take time to work out the kinks?
Just remember, as Bart Simpson learned the hard way, it's crucial to budget wisely and avoid impulsive purchases. After all, you wouldn't want to end up like him, financially strained and regretful of your decision. However, one thing is for sure. As we stand at the threshold of this new era in transportation, the world will never look at personal mobility in quite the same way again. The question on everyone's mind is, what other innovations will emerge as we push the boundaries of what's possible in transportation technology? Suppression of green energy. This has been a gradual transition toward full solar adoption, and the reaction has been mixed across the globe. While proponents of renewable energy celebrate this shift,
Seen cherubs blow it from map corners. The wind!
detractors express skepticism about the feasibility and effectiveness of the same. An exceptional example of this ambivalence is found in the most recent episode of The Simpsons titled Paths to Glory. This particular episode revolves around Lisa Simpson, a character known for her inventive skills, who builds a solar-powered car that she intends to enter in a roller derby competition. As well as she has done up until that point, victory is unfairly snatched from her hands. A Duff blimp suddenly blots the sunlight she relied on for energy.
No, that shouldn't happen! I should have stored energy!
Just when she crossed a couple of yards to the checkered flag. The failure at her invention sends a humbug of the townspeople at their derisive laughter. This otherwise insignificant incident takes greater significance when put in perspective in light of the incredible number of instances when The Simpsons has successfully predicted future technology. Against this backdrop, it ceases to be very incredible that one should dismiss altogether the possibility that this entire imaginary scenario could as well be about actual events that may well take place in the next couple of decades. Quite remarkably, even as firms like Tesla continue to explore the frontiers of electric vehicle transportation and solar-powered transportation, large oil giants such as ExxonMobil appear not to be particularly excited about the trend. Their reluctance, of course, is founded on an acute awareness of the consequences. As these eco-friendly vehicles gain popularity, oil sales would dramatically fall, probably threatening the existence of such corporations. To counter this threat, oil giants have been conducting a behind-the-scenes effort to discredit EVs and solar-powered vehicles. They have tried to find flaws in these technologies that could restore consumer favor in their direction. Desperate to alter public perception, even a subsidiary of ExxonMobil went so far as to launch an advertising campaign questioning the practicality of EVs. The slogan, "Freedom means not being tethered to a cable. Disconnecting feels a lot like breaking free," was meant to reminisce about gasoline-powered cars. Regardless, the global EV adoption keeps gaining momentum. Recently, it was reported that more than 10 million environmentally conscious consumers worldwide have chosen electric vehicles. In response to such a reality check, ExxonMobil and all other fossil fuel giants are busy reviewing their strategy. For 2025, it has set ambitious targets to rebuild its customers' trust. Its targets include exploring ways to reduce carbon footprints and investment in lower carbon options. Yet, in secrecy, these companies continue to lobby lawmaking bodies actively against legislation encouraging EV infrastructure and policies promoting renewable energy in different states of America. Exxon and other oil-backed groups have allied with other groups, such as the American Petroleum Institute, in an effort to block plans for expanded EV charging stations. This is the equivalent of flying their own Duff blimp.
Duff beer, the only way to get fathers through kids' events.
A metaphorical reference to the Simpsons episode, to sow doubt on the viability of solar-powered transportation. As we stand on the cusp of 2025, it remains to be seen whether this is where the Simpsons prediction finally comes into play. Will the world see a paradigmatic shift in transportation trends? Or will old, fossil fuel-based automobiles retain their stranglehold on the sector? Only time will tell. But for sure, the future of transportation does hang precariously in a delicate balance between innovation and vested interests. How did the show foresee such a remarkable twist in American politics? Let's dive into how The Simpsons not only predicted Trump's presidency,
for next season to deal with Donald Trump. The Simpsons released this video online tonight.
but also his shocking re-entry into the race in 2024. Donald Trump presidency. It still defies belief how The Simpsons manages to predict the future. A 2015 episode of the animated series, in fact, predicted Donald Trump's presidential bid for 2024. Yet nothing in comparison to the most extraordinary storyline twist that came up. Lisa Simpson reading from the headlines of a newspaper front page about Trump's candidacy for the presidency in 2024. After all, he had served his first term as president and now saw that was quite inconceivable to anything more than a joke, to say the least. But it was there, and then the plot twist came. However, destiny did have one more turn. Come 2024, it almost seemed as if reality outran fiction because, believe it or not, Trump actually announced that he was contesting for re-election. This prophecy has left so many viewers scratching their heads with utter amazement. The actuality of this prediction is something with which many questions can be raised regarding the prescience or coincidence of its writers. Was it a brilliant piece of writing, or did the Simpsons creators have inside knowledge beyond our comprehension? Whatever the explanation may be, one thing is sure: The Simpsons just proved again that it seems to predict future events with unmistakable precision. It is not the first time this series has made its impossible-sounding predictions come out right. This adds much to the cult status in the minds of fans for something more than an animated sitcom. Few political analysts were taken by surprise when Trump declared that he was running for office again because of his high levels of popularity among certain sections of the electorate. It was a moment that finally marked a turn in the tenor of politics and set in motion the wheels for a bruising presidential campaign. As the country readies for yet another round of elections, history will have its say about Trump's second run for the presidency. Will he win his re-election bid, or will the people move in a different direction? Only time will tell. But what is most certain is that this series of predictions created by The Simpsons has heated debates across all social media and news forums alike. Suppose it is one reason why audiences are glued to the capability of The Simpsons to predict what happens in real life. In that case, it tells something about the unpredictable world of politics and how effective satire shapes discourse. And now, as we forge into this new chapter in American political history, it will be interesting to see how the show's writers react to these latest developments, or try even harder to push the envelope as far as predictive storytelling in animation goes. Disney buying 20th Century Fox. The Simpsons delivers another eerie preview of the future in its 1998 episode, Dish Upon a Star. Here, Homer finds himself as the personal aide to Hollywood stars Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger, who are secretly residing in Springfield to get away from the spotlight. Their antics include Homer pitching an outlandish screen treatment featuring a time-traveling assassin, a robot driving instructor, and a chatty pie that irritates their guest, Ron Howard. Homer's loose-lipped revelations about Baldwin and Basinger's hideout get him sacked. In revenge, he constructs a mobile museum of his boss's memorabilia after a high-speed car chase that injures Howard. The court sentences Homer not to meet any celebrities, but a month later we find Howard hawking Homer's screenplay at 20th Century Fox, humorously shown as a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company on a huge hoarding outside.
It shows the entrance to 20th Century Fox Movie Studios. Now check out the fine print, a division of Walt Disney Company.
That isn't the only Disney nod in The Simpsons. In one scene, Mickey Mouse and Goofy rough up Homer, and in another episode, after the announcement of the Disney-Fox merger, The Simpsons used a Disney-themed opening credits sequence. As an added treat, executive producer James L. Brooks sends greetings from Homer and Bart to Mickey Mouse in jest. We have now come to the end of this video. Make sure to share your thoughts on these predictions in the comments section, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to get more content like this. See you in our next video.